All right, got World War Polo back on Prime Quality TV. What's up, OG? How you doing, man?
Man, in the building, man, making noise, trying to stay focused, trying to just keep going. You feel me?
Hey, no, I appreciate you pulling back up, man. You was one of the earlier guests, man, when this started off. You played a part in helping the platform grow, man. So
Now
I had to
you
bring
doing
you
your
back.
thing. You definitely doing your thing.
Nah, I appreciate you, man.
Definitely.
Like, I appreciate everything you did.
I feel like I'm popping down a little more because I'm sitting there like I see who you be interviewing. I'm like, oh, I'm in the category with them. I'm like,
Yeah,
all
nah,
right,
I appreciate
I'm
that,
feeling
man.
like somebody out here. You feel me?
I appreciate that, man. That mean a lot. And I wanted to kind of like, cause last time, man, I had you on here, we talked a lot about your film career, man. But wanted to get into a little bit more of you and your background in DC's. Like, so I just wanted to kind of like start off with me, like, what actual part of DC like were you like born and raised in? Like, what
I'm
part of DC
from
did you grow up?
Northeast. I'm from
Northeast.
Northeast. Um, over by the shrimp boat.
So what was like Northeast like? Coming up during your time.
Well, when I was growing up, we was the murder capital. We was becoming the murder capital. Um, the scary neighborhoods that's scary, they wasn't scary to us. It was something fun. You didn't really realize that they were scary places until I guess after we got older and you look back. You know what I'm saying? When you in the mix, you in the middle of it, it's just like, and everybody telling you about, how dangerous this, that, and the other is. Like, uh, but then when we became the murder capital, it was like a lot of tension. Like literally for maybe 2 years straight, day for day, somebody got killed. And on some days, more than one person got killed. And I remember that, man, DC was so wild. I remember it got to the point where they said on the news, like, no one got killed today. And that was just like, wow, that's even news. Like we're honoring the fact that nobody didn't get killed. Not didn't die, people die every day, but didn't get killed. And I remember, during that time the tension used to be thick, like real thick. And maybe you know the person that got killed, or you know of them, or maybe you know the area, right? But it just always seemed that it was close. And because DC is kind of small, there's always somebody who knows somebody. So even if it's not somebody you know, it still felt like you knew. Or and I remember just the tension being so high to just walking outside and just be like, man, I hope I don't get killed today. Like that's a real thing. Like man, but with that energy, it also puts you in that survival state of mind, and it kind of robbed a lot of us out of our childhood because you had to walk and talk and carry yourself a certain kind of way just so that you could feel like you could make it through the day because people was dying like every day, like not one day. I mean, so much so that you be like, man, I know nobody ain't gonna get killed today. Then somebody get killed. That news used to be scary. Like somebody used to get killed every day. So that's the DC I grew up in. Um, but it also wasn't like the worst thing. We had a lot of fun. Like it was black love back then. Like people wasn't afraid to hold their woman hand. People wasn't afraid to show each other love. Hate wasn't out as much. You know what I'm saying? Like it. So it was a mix of both. And being from Northeast, Northeast is not Uptown, and Northeast is not Southeast. So it's somewhere in the middle. Like we ain't have it as rough, but it was definitely rough, but it wasn't as rough, I believe, as probably people that was living in the Southeast. And we weren't having it as good or what we believe is as good as if you was living uptown, even though uptown rough too. So it was somewhere like in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
So you say like And when you was coming up southeast was probably the roughest part of DC at that time.
I think the whole DC was rough, but it was rough in its different kind of ways. Um, like I think the southeast is rough because the poverty of just not having, and then I think Uptown was rough because they was actually getting money, and so for everybody who's not getting money, you look at them like, man, they solved this, that, and the other. If you don't know nobody from up there and they not having it, we earned this. You gotta take this, and then you got Northeast in the middle. So it's like we living kind of rough, but some of us is living pretty okay, and we in this mixing bowl. And you don't want to have and be like, oh, you could take something from me, and you don't want to be not have and feel like you want it. So it's like every section of the city, I think, had its own way of being rough because people was getting killed everywhere. It wasn't like one side soft. It's just how it was, how it was structured was a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
What was it like for you personally? Like, you know, because you talked about like a lot of the loss of life that happened during that time. Like, what was it
Mm.
like for you, like losing, you know, a lot of people close to you? You know, just saying, you know, how so many people was getting killed back then. You know, what was that like dealing with that?
Mm. I, I think between listening to Scarface and this, life was wild. Like, you know what I mean? Like death been around. Like you start to, I'm not trying to act like a gangster or not, but you start to get numb. Like if you want to wake up and have like a certain kind of state of mind, you have to blot out certain things. Like I think you get rougher not because you choosing it. Like today's time, I feel like young people, no disrespect, they choose to be rough. That's like I want to be rough. I don't think any of us chose that. I think that because I remember having like this real kind of like sheltered life. Like and then reality hit, and I'm like all the stuff that like my grandmother and them like was caging me away from. They couldn't do it no more. And I'm like, this ain't the life that I was being raised to live in. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas is crazy. The first couple of times I had a gun pointed at me, right? I didn't believe a nigga would shoot it. That's the kind, like the way my mind was set up. It's like I just don't believe you. Not even that I'm trying to be a gangster. It's like I just don't believe you. People make people believers. You feel what I'm saying? And once you believe, you can't unbelieve. And so then you have to readjust your whole understanding about life. And it kind of conforms you and make you um, relentless in trying to either live or survive. Like you make your mind up at a very young age of how you gonna carry it. Like you literally walk down the street every day like, man, if somebody play with me, if they do this, I'm gonna do that. If they do this, I'm gonna do that. I know they say walk away, I'm gonna try. But if they do this, I'm gonna do that. And this is your mind state all the time. So at a certain point, you know, a lot of time go past and nothing don't really be happening to you personally. But the moment it does, you've been preparing for it so long. Boom. It's your time to dance. You know what I mean? And I mean, DC was rough. Like it was rough. But it was rough when you look back. Cause like I say, like when you in it, it was just fun. Like we was too dumb to be scared. like like it was just like it was this is you can't be scared of something until you have an option of not being scared. Like You gotta give me a better way so that I can choose to say no, not this. If this is all I have, then this is beautiful. This is platinum. This is gold. It ain't. This don't become copper until you present and you show me what gold really look like. And then I look like, oh, nah, I ain't trying to do that. I thought that that's how it's supposed to be, but no one gave me the opportunity or the choice to do that. I didn't even know that that was an option. But since now that's an option, and the moment you choose that, that's when kind of life gets scary because now everything that you realize it ain't real. You gotta stand on where you came from and where you going. A lot of people not gonna be ready to like accept the changes to be better. Then you still around the people that don't want to make these decisions, but at the same time you learning better. You don't, and then you seeing people that's making some of the same choices that you making, trying to be better. The moment that they quit that lifestyle, they be the next victim. And then you don't want to be the victim, so it kind of puts you back there. You feel what I'm saying? Where you trying to leave, and I think that everybody go through that. I think that well, here at that particular time, I don't know if people go through all that now. I know that people go through struggles, but life is more the contemporary, the format of how life is a lot different, like than it was. Like you had to be you had to do certain stuff. You didn't have a choice not to. Like you gonna do it. If you want to survive, you're gonna do it. Now, however that worked for you, that worked for you. But that's kind of like how it was in a. Everybody learned how to walk by themselves. Like when you had to be able to walk up and down the street, and you had to be able to go anywhere, and that's how you got your points. Not really having to go hard, but just not nobody gonna stop whatever I'm on. And then you meet like-minded people, and then we don't really be like a gang here, but we do be like a crew. A crew don't have a leader. It ain't nobody better than the next, but we hang together. Nobody can tell me what to do. I can't tell you what to do. I can give you advice, but I can't expect you to take it. And you meet like-minded people, and then y'all walk life together. And y'all challenge each other, and y'all push each other. Sometimes to be great, and sometimes to crash out. But you keep going, and you kind of be like, we all we got. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna crash out about you. You feel what I'm saying? Or vice versa. You know, like that's how life was. It's weird. You know.
So you talked about how DC was like the murder capital at the time, and it's like it's a lot of other cities that had violence and going on during their time. What do you think it was that made about DC specifically that made it so like violent during that time?
Drugs and power. Um, drugs. Drugs. Like when if you put three lions in a room and you allow them to get hungry, the lions they not carnivores, so they don't eat each other. So it might not be worth fighting each other because I'm not gonna eat you. You're not a threat to me. You hungry, I'm hungry. I'm not gonna eat you, so there's not no sense in battling. But the moment somebody throw a steak in the room and three lions in it, now we got something to fight and kill about, right? 'Cause we all have our eyes set on that meal, and I'm not gonna let nothing stop me. But you feel the same way, and life ain't always silver. Silver. You can't just take a knife and cut proportion. That's what we learn later on in life, becoming mature. Everybody can get a piece of the steak. That's something that you learn later on in life. That ain't something that you learn on day one. It's like I ain't even thinking about your hunger. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not hungry, right? And so drugs in this scenario would be the stake, and that stake allowed people who were in poverty to not be in poverty. And instead of us working together, I guess however that worked, it's like if you take this from me, I'm going back to poverty and my family and everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a killer. I'm gonna die about that. Like in this analogy with the line, like when we was all broke. Hey, well, I'm gonna do something to you. You ain't got nothing. I don't got nothing. That's a waste of time. You know what I mean? But the moment that one has and the other one don't have, I'm not really hating you. I'm just watching what you got because I don't got it. You feel what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of the problems came from. You know what I'm saying? We all not having, and look at the dude Big Meech. What made him great in in the street life, I don't know him, but far as with his reputation, he made sure everybody ate. That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying in our analogy. Everybody didn't eat. But there's enough food for everybody, but everybody not eating. And so survival mode get kicked in, you know? And there's a domino effect. And then the young people watching the old people and we feeling like this is what we supposed to do. Cause ain't nobody teaching us this or that no more. We ain't learning love. We ain't learning stick together. We ain't learning unity and all that no more. We learning get it how we live and die about that. And we want to impress the people that's coming up. I mean, that's older than us. So when we get in place, we already got our mind set of how we gonna carry it. Cause we've been like how I was saying, when you just be preparing, you be like, if this happen, I'm gonna do this. If this happen, I'm gonna do this. If this happen, all right, boom. The same thing happened with money. Like if I start getting money, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna bing, right? And then it be like that. You make money, and then you got some dudes that take money, and then you got some, you know. And then once you throw women in, because women want to be with the one who winning. It's a natural thing. It ain't about being a gold digger or nothing. You feel me? Women want to cheer on the team for the team that's winning. But who don't want to be on the team that's winning? So you can't. It's not a bop 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 to a woman. I'm just saying. But now the greatest treasure in life is a woman. God ain't give man money. He ain't give. God ain't give. I don't care what your religion. God ain't give a man a car. He didn't. He gave a man a woman. And then we start doing everything like this to make the woman happy. So the greatest treasure is the woman. So now these niggas is getting the money, right? And they got the drugs, they got the stuff on lock, and they got the women. And you sitting here and your tongue tasting the blood coming off the, you feel what I'm saying? And you want that. And that's what a lot of, I think the problems, that's just how it happened. It was just that easy. The same people that we loved yesterday, we hate them because they winning and we not winning. And not because I hate him. I'm just tired of being hungry. Hate come in later, but that ain't what started. You know, I don't even care about you. I don't care about you. I'm trying to get a plate, and you in my way. I don't even know you to hate you, right? So you consistently winning is what builds the hate. I've been watching you winning for years. Now hate kicking, but in the beginning, it wasn't about hate. You know what I'm saying? It's about, I'm trying to get a plate. You ever been hungry and somebody standing right there and won't move because they don't see you trying to get past and your impatience kicking? You don't even know them to be mad, but they in your way like that. But in real life in the streets like that.
So kind of on like the flip side, you talked about how, it wasn't always, bad. Y'all had good times too. Like what was some of like what was some of the spots that, people in DC, back in the days went to? Like what did people back then do, like, to have fun and, have good times? Like where did they go?
Man, when I was young, these my parents and the older people, we always ended up at somebody park, and we would stay there till you gotta leave when it get dark, and then we had the music playing. They be playing cards. eating crabs all crazy, and everybody be coming from all kind of parts of the earth. So this is where you get to meet people from other areas because it's just like peaceful. It was real peaceful, and it wasn't like guns and stuff at first. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it wasn't even like you wanted people to know you was selling drugs and stuff. Like people would know, but you would never admit it. Like even if you met a woman and she be like, "What you do?" You like, "Oh, I'm doing construction." You never like, "Oh, I sell drugs. I'm that dude. I be getting it in." That was never the thing. You was getting money, but you didn't want nobody to know. So where we go goes, it's always been go goes. It's always been go goes, crystals. Um, we would just go anywhere and just explore. Hop on that train. I used to like going to the zoo. We used to go to the zoo and play tag. Right. Um, Once we learned the train system, that was over at that point. No telling where you're gonna be. And then you just moving around. You get to meet people. And then just like anything, sometimes you gotta be a little rough and show people that you is willing to stand on. Leave me alone. I just want to be left alone, and I'm gonna go hard about that. Like I don't. I just want to be left, and everybody just want to be left alone. But you you're gonna be tested sometimes, and how much you want to be left alone, and sometimes you gotta prove that you want to be left alone. But outside of that, life was super dope. Like I went my whole life like to a large part of being a teenager, maybe like 16, 17, before I even really ever interacted with Caucasians. Like it was Chocolate City for real. Like when we used to, no, when we see white people, we used to just be just staring at them like they is a lost puppy. Like you see that? Like it was. I mean, like it really was like that. Like I mean, because every time you see a white person, they in some type of authority. They not like regular. You know what I'm saying? They a boss of a job, they a judge, they a police, they somebody in authority, and then you just see them walking past you like, you see it, and it's like but DC was just like real laid back and chill, and man, the swimming pool, we had recreation centers, where everybody would meet. And then we ain't had cell phones. Everybody just knew what time to be places. Like if I'm looking for you, I know like at 5 o'clock you're gonna be by the court. And that's how I knew how to catch up with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like we didn't have, we just knew. You feel what I'm saying? And it was, we had bikes, but most of us walked. Or we jumped on the back of the bus or stuff like that. You know what I mean? But a real laid back life, real laid back, not a lot of problems, but it was fun because every second counted. You actually was like doing something. You was in the community, interacting, and you was meeting people, whether you knew it or not, and everybody was known for whatever they was doing, all the way up.
Can you kind of describe the significance of like places like the Black Hole, like and what they meant to DC?
I'm gonna keep it real. I always been one of them people that tried to stay out the way. Right? So like my grandmother had, even to this day, on New Year's, 4th of July, um, and Halloween, I'm not gonna be outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my grandmother raised me there's certain rules of things that you do and you don't do. You didn't make the rules, but nor is the rules gonna change because you feel a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Um, I even remember like a buddy. I'm not gonna call him a buddy, but somebody I know was the first person to get killed on New Year's before, like in the whole area. And at that point, I'm from DC, so I only believe DC is like the only place. You know what I'm saying? Cause like we don't go out Maryland. It's like an invisible line that you just don't cross. It just seems like if you go over there, something bad gonna happen. It's like it really felt like that, and I think that's why I think that's why DC people will be like DC and no, we DC, even though Maryland is could be right there, and Maryland people kind of can see a little clearer, better. You know what I mean? So they like, nah, we all the same. You're like, no, it's that line, the line. But I always looked at go-go's like a death trap. Like, and when I was young, go-go's was different than what it is now. I know everybody always talk about, you know, the go-go's having fun and this and that other, but that wasn't my interpretation or understanding of go-go. Like, so I was too young to really be tapped into Essence and know in that group. So I don't know what they was doing when I was young. But like Junkyard and those kind of the bands that we would fraternize, right? And don't want like put your good clothes on and let's go to the go go. That ain't my understanding of the go go. Go go is where you got your reputation at. Go go is where people from other places learn who you was, right? You went and you didn't wear your good clothes to the go go. Like and we everybody didn't even have cars. So if you was getting in the car, you had to be somebody that we know gonna fight. Like we not going up this joint to. I mean, we gonna dance and have fun, but we gonna go. We going up there for problems, and we don't get no problems. Cool, but that ain't what we going up there for. And nobody better not run. Nobody better not run. So you only got a certain amount of cars pulling on. So if they don't think that you know you gonna work, you're not getting in the car. So when you going to the go go, it was more like putting you and the people you be around on a map, letting people know. And see, back then, before money was like a big thing, it was your reputation of going hard, being like just straight being a man. Like women, like the dudes that could fight and could just stand their ground, right? That's what it was. And then at some shift, it was about money. So it was like a big thing to go to like these kind of places to let everybody know, like, nah, we rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? And so that was like what the go go was. And when I outgrew that, right, it didn't have as much as I like listening to it, but I'm not going because it's like, man, I'm not getting my clothes dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say like, like Essence or EU, one of them bands, they probably was dressing nice and a different crowd. But like I said, I wasn't old enough to party with them or even understand that they party. That was like to me like old people go old people music. It's the older people. So you know what I mean. The Black Hole uh, was like one of the places where younger people went. I went to the Black Hole. I only went one time, and when I went, it was like getting processed in jail or something. Like you gotta walk in the joint, and you gotta go through a metal detector. Then you gotta take your shoes off. Um, like, you know what I'm saying? Then you gotta take everything out your pocket and put it in a plastic bag and go through the metal detector. And a lot of us was maybe in the streets. So now you got your money, right? You might got 3 or 4 of these joints, right? And you got to put it in a plastic bag. Now everybody know you got all this money on you. I just wasn't feeling that. That wasn't like my life. It's cool, the music. I ain't like all the process to getting in the Black Hole. The Black Hole, I'm like, and that just showed probably how dangerous this spot is. You know what I'm saying? And that was like my only time of the Black Hole. And then, but I know that was like a legendary spot, but I don't have a lot of stories for that joint. And it was Uptown, and you know this Uptown just seemed like a different part of the world. Like it moved faster. It moved different. You know what I mean? Like, and you stand out when you're not from Uptown. You know what I'm saying? They dress different. They talk different. They slang different. And even though DC small, every section of the city got their own slangs. The way they wear their clothes and the way they dress. You feel what I'm saying? Like in Southeast, you more likely to not have a belt on back there at all. It's either probably don't even own a belt, right? And then Northeast, you probably had a belt, but it was so loose that your pants could still hang. But in Uptown, them niggas like can really dress. And because they could dress so good, you be thinking that they soft. Like, they cuff their pants real good and they joints be like, and then they shirts. And you like, these pretty boy niggas. And these niggas work though. Don't get it twisted. They just come from a life where, we gonna look nice, we gonna look good. So, um, and that was just different just to see somebody but they like us. Like, damn, y'all, you gonna fuck your clothes. Like, nigga, if I had that on, I'm not doing no scuffling, nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And, Uptown got a lot of houses and stuff like that, so their upbringing is different. Like the way, but they still had to go hard. You feel me? And that to me, back then, that was just a little bit hard for me to understand that y'all going hard like that. But it seemed like y'all got a way better life than everybody. But it not necessarily that way.
You kind of like talked about it a little bit earlier, but like like how real is or was the whole DC slash like Maryland kind of like the vibe where it's like this is one side, that's the other side. Like was that like a real thing?
I think that's what even the young dudes hold on to today. Like literally, if like just say like Eastern Avenue, that's one side is Maryland, one side is DC. Literally, the people on the Maryland side act different than us. I don't know how. They dress different. They talk. They across the street. We interact. They literally different. I'm not trying to. I'm not putting nobody down. Even they would say we different, right? And I think it's a mentality thing. I don't even think it's a like a area thing. It's like I feel like I have to act a certain kind of way because I'm from DC. And when you from Maryland, you like, well, I don't really feel I have to act like that. Like you don't have to act like that either. But no, I do. But no, you don't. It's like that. It's like people who kind of got their life together after making it through whatever hardship that DC had them doing, living, bringing up. Once they got some money, it seemed like they went to Maryland. So like Maryland people are DC people, but they like the DC people that left DC and now they're here. So they not like not claiming DC, but they want better. They don't. The school systems and that's another thing. Like we, even though like I could be on this side of the street and you on this side of the street, yeah. In the daytime, and we're friends. So all right, cool. But you spend 8 hours a day in school, and you go that way, and I go this way. And in this school, they have rules and they abiding by 'em. Way different than here. These joints is overpopulated and not enough teachers, and there's this different. It's destitute. You know what I mean? You know, it's a little bit harder to wanna when like you wanna be smart, but you don't wanna be the one that they say is smart. Where over here, you getting credit for being smart, and you might don't want to be smart, but it's rewards for it. And I'm not saying that the people is different, but we keeping it real. The people different. You know what I mean? Like the upbringing is different. Like you eat every day. A lot of me and my friends, we don't eat dinner every day. So when we go to school, we acting different. we act different. This is what it is. We act different, and so like I think like what your school kind of conform you to um, how you gonna act when you're not in school. So like when we not in school, I've been in survival mode all day and trying to learn, and you haven't been in as much survival mode. We got metal detectors. People really bringing real guns to school. Like you walking in the hallway and you seeing like that he got a real gun. Like you recognizing this is not a safe place. You don't say nothing, but this is not a safe place. Where Maryland not, they different. They got their real it's just different. I don't really not never been to a Maryland school, but I know it's different in DC. Like way different. And so Maryland, DC, and but there is some places, and this don't mean that Maryland places don't go hard. I'm not saying that, because you got places in Maryland. It's not really a place that go harder than the next, because people go hard everywhere. You feel what I'm saying? It's just all the other stuff that surround, like you might have more uh, crackhead parents, right, in DC than Maryland. Not saying Maryland people don't smoke crack back then, but they wasn't smoking crack like DC people was smoking crack. And so, like, just that alone, another thing, changes the upbringing and it changes the whole society. You see what I'm saying? Like, certain stuff not happening and a lot more stuff happening. And um, the people here, they're being told don't go over there by their leaders, which are their parents and things of that nature. So you keep hearing that, hearing that, hearing that. That kind of puts you in a mind state that we're different than them. I'm not saying that they were saying that we're better, but you know, and over there, it just you could tell that they just was so different than us. You didn't. It just was scary. It's like we want to be over there, but it's like you know you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? It's gonna make you look weak. I worked so hard to get this little reputation I got. I can't look weak. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta die about this. I want to be there, but you know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs to see me as I'm never leaving this place over here, right? And the people over there kind of like don't go over there. You know, they don't do this, they don't do that. Da, 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 da. And so when you grow up, you from DC, and you got a Maryland friend, y'all cool, but y'all even how y'all communicate with each other is different. It's like you know what I'm saying, like you if y'all both go to the basketball court, your DC friend probably put his gun on the ground and shoot the ball. And you like, damn, what you carrying that for? Like you don't even understand why he got that. So that's what make it different. Now, the further you go out Maryland, it's like that, but the closer you get to DC, then some Maryland people is gonna have guns and this and that and other, because it's like, you know what I mean? But the further you go out that way, it's less and less of that. But the further you go to this, the guns get bigger. You feel what I'm saying? So like that.
So when you was talking about how you said like when DC was like chocolate, I mean it's still chocolate city, but like when it was
It's
really
not
chocolate
chocolate
city.
city.
Well, like like back when it was like really like that. You said it was kind of like rare to see white
White
people
people.
like that.
Yeah.
When did you kind of start noticing the change? Like when they started like seeing more and more.
White people.
Yeah, or just like changes to the city in general. Just like
Around when it started, close to the 2000s, it started getting, like, I never saw a Spanish person my whole life. But not even on TV. Like, literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just me. You know what I mean? I never seen a Spanish person before. That's how chocolate city it was. Like, I know they humans. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I never seen one like none never crossed my eye, but none never stood out. I never seen a cleaning lady. Our parents cleaned our houses and all that stuff. I never seen a person out there selling a Spanish person selling fruit. The old men sold the fruits and the watermelons, and we everything that they do, we got a version of that over here. We didn't, so I never saw none of that. The folding the clothes lady at the laundromat. We we had the old lady who do all like so. You know, and white people is just like, damn, y'all just oblivious to everything. Like like y'all would just walk across some place that just everybody know you shouldn't go that way, and y'all just go that way and be eating a sandwich and crackers while you doing it. And I'm sitting there like, dang, I know something gonna happen to them, but everybody looking at them the same way I'm looking. Ain't nothing happening to them, and that's amazing. Cause I stand right here every day, and I wouldn't even walk over there. You just came through here, like, and that's amazing, right? Like, it's just like y'all green is on, but don't nothing never happen, ever. Like 100 people could get shot, and a white person could walk in that same crowd, and the bullet hit everybody. It don't hit them, and it's just like, damn, you know. But and so white, and then next thing you know, they was everywhere. And it was just like just watching the show. He was like, damn, they just walking the dogs and riding the bikes. And the first crew come through there, they was a little, like nice. Hey, I'm just coming past, And you like, oh, I'm just coming past, right? And then the next group come, they don't say nothing. And they just ride past like they just already been coming through here. And then next thing you know is just like they start walking and talking and moving like us, and we just accepted them like they was here the whole time, and now they here and we not no more. And it just happened just like that.
I heard you one time, and you kind of like blew my mind with this. Like you had said that DC, because I think anybody that's outside of DC think that the Timberland started in New York, but you always you broke it
Are
down
you
basically
trying to run your
saying,
views up?
but
Yeah, it did
like,
though.
but like so you basically said that that wasn't a thing. Like it didn't start in New York.
It
Like it was a
did.
DC thing.
For so many reasons. Like, New York is a mixing boat first and foremost, and the reason why I say that, in New York they didn't have a place where it's just all black people, because you got Spanish people up there, you got Italians, you got Dominicans, you got regular black people, you got Puerto Ricans, you got all that, right? So when you talking about culture, you talking about a blend of all of that, right? Versus DC is only us. So when we creating stuff different than other places. Like some of the stuff that y'all wouldn't do, we still think it's corny even to this day. Like some of the stuff that they do is just like, well, why? Because the Spanish people chill with the black people, and so maybe the Spanish people wear their hat like this, and the black person took the hat, but they wear it a different way. But why you even got that whole hat on at all? Forget how you wearing it. Why you even got it on at all, right? All right, so um, New York was, they are very fashionable, they are, but they take credit for a lot of things that they didn't create, and that's just the truth, right? Because a New Yorker will go and hustle anywhere, right? And in the process of going to hustle anywhere, you pick up the style and the rhythm and the pace of the place you go. But when you go back home, you carry that with you. And if it's fly and it's new as inventive, it catches on. And because New York is bigger and more popular than other places, it gets the credit, because if the first place I saw doing this is New York, but New York really got it from over there, a small place, that small place like, nah, we started that. Who is y'all, first of all? Like, why are you even in the conversation? We talking to the big boys now, so they get the credit, right? So, a lot of, so, so, not trying to, bring up bad blood or anything like that, but in the '80s, when the New Yorkers was coming down here, the DC guys didn't like it. And so if you look like you was from New York, it, if I could even just pen that you're not from here, you might lose your life. So one of the first things that you do when you're on a terrain that's not from where you from, you camouflage, you blend in, right? So down here, everybody was wearing Timberlands with the taps, the Super Tims, the Polos, and New Balance, different things, right? All right. So when they come down here, they blending in. They blending in. But when they go back up there, they taking the style with them. They taking a style with them, and you got at this time rappers blowing up, right? So it was big in the black culture is like videos and things of that nature. Videos is taking place. If if the first people that now you got everybody's coming here to DC. Mind you, Broadway, the first black Broadway started here on U Street. Like DC has always been the culture place. Like all the comedians, all the black show, everything, and everybody wanted to be in DC. This, listen, you know why? Because DC was the first place that you could come and be free as a black person. You couldn't have black shows in New York. They didn't have places for you to perform. They didn't have places for you to perform in Chicago nor in California. But you could come here and you could perform and you can entertain. You could be out outside. You could be outside all night. You ain't have to have a curfew. DC was the place that you could come. DC was like that when you go over your friend's house and they let you get away with everything. That's what DC was. So everybody was migrating here. All the stars, celebrity, if you had money, you was coming here. This is what made DC important. We are very, very, very small. But when you factor in the point that you got all this money, but you can't even do nothing from where you from, let's drive down DC. You know what I'm saying? Right? So boom. But when you come in here, as far as the drug stuff, we didn't really get with the New Yorkers. So even though they want to come here, they want to be here and things of that nature, they not allowed. But we can't tell people what to do. So at the end of the day, it's war taking place, right? And so they just imagine Biggie, and I just say Biggie because he like one of the kings up there, right? Jay-Z was down here, like they said in the song. Puffy went to what's the school? Howard. Um, you can just keep naming a lot of. All right, the first time you really seen the Super Tims on TV really was probably in Juice, right? Yeah. Tupac. Okay, he from Baltimore. No disrespect, but everybody know Baltimore people can't dress. I mean, nah, they could. They had their own way, their own hairstyle. Try to run your views up. Don't kill me. I go to Baltimore all the time. They are known for their food. I love their food, but ain't nobody getting fashion tips from Baltimore. Let's keep it real. All right. Try to run the views up. Don't kill me. All right. But so where you think Tupac was getting that from? That's only like what 30, 40 minutes up the Parkway, right? And then it's the other thing. Because I don't want to go too far because I ain't going to lie. The other thing is when you are fashionable, fashion don't stop. Fashion grows, it matures, and it keeps going. Name another style. If New Yorkers started the Timberlands, cool, because they call them work boots, workman boots and stuff like that. We made it a street thing here, right? They was wearing wallabies when they came down here. That's what they was wearing. They weren't wearing Timberlands. They was wearing wallabies. Anybody in the comments, right, can correct me, but that's what they were wearing when they came down here. Wallabies. You go look at wallabies, right? But fashion continues to go forward. If the New Yorkers created the Timberland street fashion, right, and that took over the whole world that they known for, because just because they bigger, they're entertainment place. All the big stars come from there, right? This is where they get the credit from. Name another shoe that y'all made famous then.
All right.
Because if that's the case, y'all started a style in the 80s and y'all still doing it in 2026. Like how are you a fashionista, right? If you're saying you started something in 78, half of the people that's claiming it wasn't even born, right? So the style started maybe 78, right? And in 2026, this the only thing y'all still doing? All right, now if you ask me that question, this is what I'm gonna say. We did Timberlands. After Timberlands, New Balance. New Balance was the first tennis shoe that cost $100, and they mess up real fast. So you had to actually be somebody to wear them. And mind you, in the 80s, your rent was maybe only about 125, maybe 200. Imagine your rent being 200, but your shoes cost the same amount as your rent. That's equivalent to walking around with Dior, New Balance back then. Okay, so we, New Balance, Nike boots, foam posits. I could keep going. You see, so fashion keeps going. So when I say we started at Timberland, then I'm saying we started this, I'm saying this, and I'm saying this, and we could keep on going. We keep on living. If y'all did it, which y'all other shoe y'all made famous that the world can and even Timberland even just shouted us out like this summer as being the founders of what made it popular. See, cause like, all right, you gotta look at DC real small. So if you got 200 people wearing 200 of the most popular people in DC wearing them, you're like, oh, they killing them. But you got thousands of people now wearing them because in New York, who gonna get the credit publicly of making it? So what I want to make clear is we started the style, but New York made it famous. I'm not taking that credit. I'm saying that we sparked the fire. Y'all burnt the house down. You feel what I'm saying? But y'all didn't start it. That's all I'm trying to say. Because if you did, then you could start something else. What's the next thing y'all do? Y'all still wearing Timberlands? We don't even wear them joints like that no more. Because that's what happened with fashion. You outgrow stuff. Who out here wearing Triple Fat Goose? Who out here wearing Eddie Bowers? Who out here wearing like these were styles, right? We done moved on. Y'all still wearing Timberlands. Y'all didn't create it. Y'all got stuck and caught up in our wave. And that's just how it is. That's just what it is. And like I said, even in the movie Paid in Full, the same way in The Wire, when my Baltimore buddies be like, oh, we started New Balance. Well, The Wire got like 5 seasons. Why not one person in the whole movie joint is wearing New Balance but Big G, and Big G from Uptown? Go through The Wire, because y'all was wearing y'all own clothes. They wasn't giving y'all clothes to wear, so everybody should have had New Balance on because you're wearing your own clothes. You wasn't being fitted for the outfits. You were coming to set with your clothes. Nobody had New Balance on but Big G. All right? So it's the same thing with Paid in Full. The whole movie, why nobody got no Timberlands on? Because y'all depicted in the 80s, right? Only person had Timberlands on in the movie was the police dude that was from DC.
Alpo, yeah.
And Alpo.
Yeah.
But they like, oh, but see, Alpo had him on. Yeah, but he in that same scene that he was talking, he like, look, we gotta go down to DC because they got motion, this and that. So he was talking about DC and he was looking like us because why he just came back from DC. Even in the movie. Name somebody else. You just saying, Alpo, that's it? Who else? The whole 80s. Y'all fly Louis, Gucci, all that. Cool. Air Force Ones, all that. Cool. What the Timberlands that y'all was doing? Because that should have been like the biggest thing in the whole movie, being that that's what y'all saying y'all known for. But the truth is the truth. You know what I mean? Y'all took it and made it big, but y'all didn't start it. Y'all didn't start it.
You know, you had done the film about Marion Barry, and I wanted to talk about like,
I didn't do it yet. I wrote it.
well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you was putting that together. Like I
Mm.
remember you was talking about that, but I just wanted to ask like, what can you like kind of shed light on his like significance and importance to the city of DC, like how much he meant to DC?
Everybody have a different understanding of Murray Bird, so I don't want whatever I say to be the all be all, because he's so much more than anything I could ever say. Right? We grew up in an era where a lot of us ain't had fathers, and the way he was pitched to us is like he's like the father that's not living in a home but still paying child support. He's still taking care. You feel what I'm saying? One of the first black role models that you could see that was a big thing that would really stand up and fight for you. A person that was not just a political figure, but a person that literally was in the community. Like you could be at Safeway and he could be in the line in front of you. And you're like, mate, that's all you get? Put that up there. And he wasn't trying to be politically correct. This is who he was. Like he lived amongst us, he walked with us, he talked with us, and he fought for us. Right? He gave us opportunities. Right? He gave us opportunities that we didn't have and we wouldn't have had without him. Um, he was a fighter his whole life from a little boy. He was a fighter. And the work that he was doing as an adult, believe it or not, it started when he was maybe 8 or 9 years old on a paper route when he did his first boycott as a little boy. So he's been a warrior and a fighter, right? Um, he was actually one of Martin Luther King's proteges, because like the way the black dynamic was set up, you had like Malcolm X, for example, and you had like um, Martin Luther King, and you would think like, why not just kill them and get it over with? Because they got people that's already ready to take their if they go, and then if they go, they already got somebody, right? And if they go, so it's not no sense of killing them, because then the next person gonna come up and they gonna be and it's gonna keep going. So under Martin Luther King, one of Marion Barry studied under him for a while. They got into it because Marion Barry wasn't like no passive, just he a fighter. And so he goes to DC, right? And when he get here, he immediately start working for the people, right? And what we tend to do is we tend to take our leaders, and no other group of people I see do this, but we'll take our leaders and just focus on destroying them and focus on the human part of him and not the superhuman part. Like we want to compare him to how we would do stuff. Oh, he like women, or he this, or he like drugs. It doesn't. Yeah, cool. All right, all right. We got that out the way. But him using drugs, he did more for this whole city than people who ain't using drugs. Let's talk about that, right? Like you don't smoke crack, so what is the issue? Why are we not doing better through your means, right? And so this is the story. I'm not. I was on the phone with Bruce Brown for a couple hours the other day, and he was allowing me to pay homage to him, and also showing his love and support and paying homage back for what I got going on. So I want to shout him out. Bruce Brown is the first real big movie producer out of this era who did Divided City. That's what got Taraji on her first movie. It was because of him, right? Big G was in the joints too, and, Divided City and 24/7, right? Shout out to him. But he a warrior, right? And he was telling me about how he did a Marion Barry joint. But the way I'm gonna do it, because these young people, they don't even know Marion Barry. So I'm not giving them some watered down version of Marion Barry that's gonna bore them. Like most people don't even know Marion Barry got shot in a government building. So I'm gonna tell that story. It's gonna be heartbreaking. It's a horror show actually. Like the movie ain't like Malcolm X. It's gonna be, if you know my style of movies, it's very turned up and aggressive. It's not gonna stop with the Marion Barry joint because he was turned up. And I think that we have a lot of young warriors out here, and they don't need to see a leader that's weak because they're not gonna get behind them. They need to see a warrior being a warrior so they can identify, like, you know what? Boom. You can't get mad at them because they don't accept the things that we accept. We got to know that they're going to fight a different fight from us, right? So the movie that I'm going to film, inshallah, is going to be a more turned up, exciting, very aggressive, very dramatic and intense movie that no one's going to even say like, dang, this is a Marion Barry movie? Yeah, this joint like terminated. Like people, like because people was getting killed and people was getting robbed and a lot of stuff was taken. I'm not sugarcoating. You know, I sat and researched this movie line for line. It's nothing that none of this is my opinion. It's not my opinion. I will say this. What makes the movie, I'm a little biased. The part that I will be biased on, I'm gonna be clear about it. I don't feel that him smoking crack, right, should be the focal point of anything. I feel like we need to protect our leaders. So if you want to know that he smoked crack, you go research that yourself. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying you go research. I'm not going to do your work for you. But he did hit the pipe. When the pipe that he going to hit is going to have weed in it. And that's the one thing, because at the end of the day, I don't think that's the big focus. You're not going to have me do a 2.5 hour movie of all this great stuff he did, and the only thing you're going to do is pay attention to the last 5 minutes and throw everything that he done away because of that. Nah, we not doing that on my watch. So if you want to see a beautiful, biased movie, Married Forever coming out soon, inshallah. But outside of that, everything line for line is the way that I researched it, and it's public information. And it's the way I wrote it was like in '66. What did he do in '66? Well, he did this. I'm like, what did he do in '67? '67, he did this, this, and this. I'm going to take which one of them things, whatever is the best thing. What did he do in '68? He did this and this. I'm taking the best. What he did in '69, he ain't really do too much. What did he do in '70? '70 was crazy. He did this, this, and this. I'm going to put two of those. Boom. So that's how I walked the movie down. So it's exciting. Exciting. And we living in a much more turned up world. So I would like the movie to be in a school system, whereas though at like, you know how um when when I was young, we used to watch Malcolm X every Black History Month. You knew you was watching Malcolm X, right? So I would like in this area at least to have the school system set up some kind of way. I'm gonna work on it, whereas though that movie would be part of the curriculum for more than one reason. Um, the first reason is we need to know about our leaders. The second of all is being filmed by somebody that's from here, and all the people that's in the movie is from here, and the people who watching the movie need to know that. Like, we can't be stopped. Who told you that? We can't be stopped. Look, like everybody in this movie probably got a horrible background, but look what we doing. Let's focus on that. We try to make y'all great. We not saying that you don't go hard and this and that. We saying go hard for a right reason. If nothing ain't messing with you, just focus and stay constructive. If somebody If somebody throw you off, crash out. If it's worth it, crash out. Just don't crash out for nothing. And once people know you're going to crash out, they think twice about playing with you. They talk, but they think twice. Because don't nobody want nobody to crash out. Nobody don't want nobody to dedicate their whole life to messing up your life. Like, I'm going to take all the time I got to make sure your time is hard. No, nobody don't really want that, right? So continue to be constructive until you have to be destructive. And don't be over destructive. You don't want to go to jail if you don't have to. But sometimes you got, you know what I mean? And I think that's what the story about. Giving a story that they could watch as exciting, that you'll want to watch it more than one time. And then seeing faces of the people in your community in the movie you watching. And you like, hold up, how he get in a movie? I know him. You know what that does to a child's psyche? Like, to know, man, I like to have my movies premiere at the movie theater, right? And the reason why I could get a room somewhere and we can all watch it. But the movie theater brings this nostalgic feeling, right? Just imagine your child watching you on a big screen, and this the same big screen that they watch Superman, Spider-Man on. Who becomes their new superhero? The person that is like, dang, I know him. And guess what? In my mind, I could do what he could do. And nobody ain't have to plant that seed because that's the way we set up. It's like, man, he shouldn't have said it like that. He started critiquing him. Man, he ain't even no good actor. How you know what a good actor is? You gonna be an actor? You feel what I'm saying? How you know he acting? Because I know him. I seen him yesterday. How you get up there? He stayed focused, right? And that's the best way of teaching. Not sitting there drilling somebody's head, but just showing them and just letting them go get it themselves. Like that line I was talking about in the beginning. So I bring it all back full circle. That movie become that state. And but we ain't gotta all try to kill each other for the steak. Now we know that all you gotta do is get the knife and cut, and we gonna all get a piece. Cause even if I got that whole steak to myself, I still be hungry. But if we split it, we still gonna be hungry. But we all got a taste, and that's what the movement about. Like really, like just sticking together and trying to win with each other, in action, not just speech. New Balance boys, make sure y'all go see that joint. The joint turned up, but it got dope meaning. Every door is a back door in the DMV. World with Polo Entertainment Group.
All right, World War Polo. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. We gonna make sure we got. I know you got a lot of stuff coming out, man. We gonna stay tuned for all of that, man.
Man, Black Honey. Y'all gotta see Black Honey. Black Honey is like a ghetto fabulous love story, because slowly I want to start pumping love back into the black community. I want the thugs to know that it's okay to love. When they then boom, a little bit more love, because you got this little bit at a time. They don't want to see it's too corny, but you know what I mean. Like we weren't meant to be alone, right? And somebody gotta be cool enough and not cool enough to be able to tell the truth to the youth. Like we make it seem like by taking care of women or loving women or appreciating them that we corny. And then the next group tell the next group, and then the next group tell the next group, until like Tupac say, then we just start hating women. But the dude that you think is cool, he's saying women ain't nothing, but he got a woman. Make it make sense, right? So to me, that's what you call a hypocrite. And even though that's something small in the eyes of the person who's doing it, the people who watching it seeing a different movie than what you presenting. You feel me? You presenting this rah rah rah, but you ain't no Dungeon Dragon. You a lover. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's what gives fighting a reason. having something to fight for and not just swinging in the air. Right? Because the right woman ain't gonna let you fight no dumb wars. Like, nah, that ain't worth it, baby. She know you ain't no sucker. That's why she said, all right, baby, it's good. He don't, blah, blah, blah. Like, you feel me? But we gotta start introducing morals other than street ethics back into the community. Because none of these kids that's coming up ain't never been in the streets one day to be sitting here glorifying the streets in any kind of capacity. If you never spoke about the streets again, it wouldn't be something that anybody missed. Cause ain't nobody from where we at now, ain't nobody from that. I mean, it's a nice, war story, right? It's like when old men sit and just talk, and you got to be the one nigga that, cause you can't go nowhere, you gotta listen to it. So you learn all this stuff that ain't gonna help nothing to nobody, right? Cause this new generation, they not on that. They trying to win. They really look what you doing, right? This would need to be being shown. You the gangster, cause you stepped out the pocket. You ain't care what people said, how they felt about it, the weird looks or nothing. And then they did all of that until they had to close their eyes and ask you, hey, can I get an interview? The same dudes you was clowning me though, right? But now I've been push and push and push so much I didn't change your mind. That's to me what being a gangster about. Not just like shooting a gun, like you changing the minds of the people around you. You're not afraid to stand up and be who you is and be on your mission. And if you consistently be on your mission, the people around you that's missing it, they're gonna get with it. Because people want to see it win and then they get right in line. So this is what being a gangster really about. Having something to fight for. I could tell you this. You, every time I see you super cool, super humble, right? If we walked out that door and somebody tried to take that camera, I bet you'd be a different person. Because you got something worth fighting for. And that's all we trying to say. It's not wrong with fighting, but have a reason to do it. Like outside there, my mama been and put my camera in the car, I'm out of here. Bro, you think you getting this camera? Hold on, you better have a gun. You ain't got no gun? Man, back up, Slim. Stop playing with me, boy. You got to be, as I'm getting pranked, you got to be playing. You ain't getting this camera. I'm going to die about this one. This worth it. You feel what I'm trying to say? So yeah, that's what it's about. And then the more of us get that understanding of who we is, and we spread it to the next person, because being a gangster, just like fashion, like I said, the fashion evolved, I've been a gangster involved. We used to have to do wild stuff to survive. You know what we gotta do now? We gotta stick together to survive. So all the gangsters is moving like this. We moving respectful with each other and not disrespecting each other. You know what I'm saying? We checking each other and we checking in on each other. You know what I'm saying? We vibing with each other and we bigging each other up. And to the world saying corny, but ain't nobody gonna say nothing to us because we ain't let them in this room. Right? And you gotta pay to come sit in these seats. Right? You gotta pay attention. Because it's not free. Ain't nobody, we not giving nothing to nobody. You gotta earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be a person that's gonna sit here and watch this whole interview to try to nitpick and see if they can find something. And they don't find nothing. They got an earful of a lot of positivity. And so guess what? We might change the minds of the mindless. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain stuff that they not gonna just come and just sit and want to listen to. They're gonna come, ready to destroy. And then because they can't destroy, it's not set up that way, they're gonna have to put their guns down and pick up a brick and help us build. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, man. You know what I'm saying? These movies is not just like for money. I'm not really doing this for money. Like within each one of these stories, it's a story that's being told that if you pay attention, it's gonna plant a seed. And I'm not the one that's gonna probably water it. God do that. But the seed is there, right? You just gotta Whenever water get to it, it's gonna grow. It might don't grow for 5 or 10 years. Because and I'm gonna leave on this point, cause you're not gonna rap, right? The power of what you doing, what I'm doing, is that camera and staying true to it, right? Like one of my analogies that's very clear to me that I like to speak on real briefly is the Scarface movie, right? You seen the Scarface movie? The world is mine. Say hello to my little friend, right? Can you make yourself forget? Say hello to my little friend. Close your eyes, do whatever you gotta do. Make your mind never remember it again. Can you do that? Ain't no probably. You can't. Say hello to my. That's something. It's stuck with you because you saw it, right? All right. So that's the power of these films. That once a person take the time out and they watch what we doing, it's stuck with their DNA. You can't separate yourself from the conversation you just heard. So let's plant some seeds in these conversations. Give people something to talk about, something to debate about, something that they could love and hate. But let's plant some seeds, right? You got the seed. I don't want it back. I can't get it back. It'll grow or it won't grow, but you got them. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. That's all that's what it's about. We like sharecropping. That's what this film's about. You give me an hour and a half and watch my movie, you gonna learn something whether you choose to or not. You ain't gotta say you out loud, but I know what I put in the movie. You know, you accept it or not. And that's the power of what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Like we in this little room, it's 4 of us. But when it's hit, thousands of people gonna see it. Or what's going on in this little room. That's powerful. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand, and I gotta understand the power we have. Cause outside of that, it's just like a dude walking outside shooting a gun in the air, acting all reckless. He not recognizing that this is dangerous, right? He playing with it. Somebody gonna get hurt, right? But when you know what it's for, you keep it and you put it where it's supposed to be, and you hope you never gotta pull it out. That's what the whole prayer be like. Cause I promise. I done thought about this a million times. I'm more likely to do it than not do it. Just leave me alone, please. You feel what I'm saying? Right? And that's how it is with this, what we doing. Like we stay ready. You stay ready to interview. I stay ready to talk. I stay ready to work. I stay ready to film. And then these ideas breed other ideas. But I'm gonna add this in my movie based on the conversation. And somebody's gonna sit and watch it. And then they're gonna be entertained. And they're gonna want more. They're gonna want more. And every time you slow down, they're gonna whip. Psh, where's the movie? Psh, where the interview? Come on, you know what I mean? Right? Right? Because that's that steak. That's what I'm saying. That's that steak. And they got a little taste. And like that. I wasn't greedy. I ain't want the whole steak. You said another one was coming. When the other joint coming? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what they do.
All right, well, World War Polo, man. Appreciate you pulling up as always, man. Dropping gems and everything, man.
I'm trying.
Till next time, man. I'll catch you later, man.